Going to talk a little bit about dissociation. This is your brain's stress response that's trying to protect you and disconnect you from the things that caused your trauma, to make you feel unsafe. And since your brain has had to do that for such a long time with your experiences with post-traumatic stress disorder or the complex post-traumatic stress disorder, your brain doesn't know how to turn it off. Basically, the dissociation is a stress response. So this breaks down the memories, emotional links to the experiences or things that you would normally be engaged with. This changes how you think of yourself, how your life experiences go through, because your brain's simply trying to cope from the trauma. For example, someone close to you is having an emotional moment. They're crying, they're definitely upset, and a normal person, and I hate to use that term, normal person, so we'll say the average person would be consoling, comforting them, holding them. You don't. You have no real emotional reaction to what you're observing right in front of you. Another would be somebody just ran over a dog. Any other person would have some type of response to that, whether or not it's sad or angry, anything. You've got nothing. You disassociate from any of the scenes that you see in your day-to-day life. So some of my experiences, I do disconnect from reality completely. I can not think of anything for a while, not even realize how I drove from one place to the other, and my brain is just turned off. I'm sure things are happening, but it's like you're on autopilot. The other instances I can see is I can have a dear friend of mine right next to me who I absolutely love is experiencing a mental breakdown to the point where she is crying her eyes out. And I know what the response should be, and it feels disgenuine when I'm trying to comfort her because I got nothing. I have no emotional tie to what I'm seeing. And it does make me feel there's something wrong with me. I kind of think that the way like maybe Dexter, disconnected completely from reality. And this is quite normal. I'm going to read something from April Lyons. She writes a lot on trauma therapy, post-traumatic stress disorder and such. She has 5 ways the brain naturally protects during long-term trauma. Depersonalization, out-of-body experiences. Think of this as an experience, a significant feeling, a detachment from your body. Some people even feel completely alienated from it, unable to recognize their own hands or face. I can't speak from experience with this one. I do feel disconnected, but not to that level. Derealization, nothing seems real. If the world seems dreamlike or fake, you may be experiencing derealization. In this state, the world feels unreal or foggy. It might seem as though those things you witness are happening in a movie far away from you. I do experience this. I feel like I'm in a fog, like I'm not in where I'm really supposed to be. Like I'm going to work and I'm just watching myself go to work and drive. Amnesia, losing time. Unlike the type of amnesia most see in the movies or television shows, disassociation amnesia is not a failure to recall the personal information or losing whole identities, relationships, or history, nor is this a routine of forgetfulness. Generally, dissociative amnesia is losing a disturbing event or painful blocks of time. You might forget anything from key moments to the entire months or years. Often, the amnesia occurs in micro amounts in time. Your brain tries to protect you by blocking off difficult discussions, leaving you confused and struggling to keep pace with current interactions. This does happen to me a lot. And as I went through therapy or even talking with some of my loved ones, I started to recall things that I had not thought of for years, things that I had completely forgotten about. You know, like the issue that I think I spoke about before on the bus of nearly passing out from somebody sitting on my chest and not allowing me to breathe. Identity confusion. If you sense that you don't know who you are, what you like, or what matters to you, you may be experiencing dissociative identity confusion. In other words, what you know about yourself has shifted. Typically, those who deal with identity confusion find that risky behaviors such as substance abuse or sexual acting out induce a sense of excitement you may have ordinarily stayed away from such behavior or found off-putting. I do get that, and I know I had a lot of frustration from a good friend of mine, and she didn't understand why I could not remember certain things, and when she tells me to just be you, just be who you really are, I don't know who that is. I know who I play. I play this confident guy who goes out and hikes, this guy that everybody thinks is smart and educated, and that's not what I feel. But I wanted to say that I played those parts so freaking long that I don't know what my real thoughts and feelings are. Identity alteration, the personality switch. You may sense that one part of yourself is very different from the real you. Most often this happens subtly, but the changes are distinctly observable. People may notice that your voice tone and language style change abruptly. The way you move your body, facial muscles may seem odd and unlike you depending on what you're discussing. A part of you is acting independently of the real you. And finally, talking complex PTSD dissociation is like a mental room divider. Your brain wants to be in a safe room free of fear, guilt, and shame. When your life becomes intense, dissociative symptoms can be basically a godsend for a while. However, dissociation uses walls like minimalization, denial, and suppression to keep the trauma in check. You deserve better. You can be happy living your full self. And as I've tried to repeat and say this to myself, and I need to say to you, get help. You deserve help. Contact CPTSD Foundation.org and reach out to the people with the knowledge and the ability and the want to help you.